What is up, y'all? This video is going to be relatively short because I have things I gotta do today, but I thought this would be the perfect time to show y'all a quick lazy girl lock care routine for those of you who enjoy keeping your locks low maintenance. I feel like early on in my lock care journey, I was definitely that person that liked to do a full retwist once a month or every 4 or so weeks, and that person is gone. So I thought I'd show you what I currently do as far as retwisting my hair. Even though this is way less labor intensive than a full retwist, this is also something I really only do every 4 weeks or so. And for those of you who don't know me, hi, hello, my name is Sydney Rain and we're just living life over here. I've been locked for almost 3-4 years. Looks like I have been locked since 2021. Here's a picture of me with my grandma. Aw, so cute. Looks like I've been locked for 3 years. I locked my hair in June and it is June. So this is me going on year 3 of having locks. I have changed a lot as far as my approach to my locks and how I feel about my locks and the things that I do to take care of them and make sure that they stay healthy and growing. And so the routine that I want to show y'all today, I actually posted a little earlier in the month on my Instagram and y'all really ate that up. If you didn't see that post, why? If you're not following me, why not? I got a couple questions, so I thought I'd just post a longer video on here, giving my full routine, explaining things, and chatting with y'all. So first things first, we're going to rehydrate. This is just water. And I actually didn't have any distilled water, which is what I typically put in this water bottle. So I ended up just grabbing some from my shower, which has a filtered shower head. And the goal is to just get my hair a little damp. I'm not trying to have my locks sopping wet. I really just want to make sure when I work with it and I'm manipulating it that it's not super dry. And as I'm doing this, I realized that I did not grab my brush. So hold on a minute, because I'm gonna go get that. I find that the internet is very torn on whether or not brushing your locks is useful and or beneficial to the growth of your locks. Personally, for me, the research that I found does say that it can help in a couple different ways. One being that it is a great way to remove lint if you are someone that gets a lot of lint in your locks. I think personally for me, I don't really have that issue as much, so it's not really something that I'm looking for and or really see, honestly. I feel like the amount of lint in my locks is kind of the same as it was before brushing them, so I don't know if I'm the best person to base that information off of, but one thing that I did find that I do believe could be a benefit of brushing your locks is it does stimulate the scalp, and scalp stimulation leads to follicle stimulation, which can lead to hair growth. I haven't found any studies or anything, so you know, you gotta kind of like take things with a grain of salt, but all in all, I like brushing my locks mainly just because I feel like it keeps them really uniform. That is one thing I have noticed since brushing my locks. I actually started my locks as a 2-strand twist, and right off the bat, I wasn't really looking for a super uniform look. I really wanted them to just kind of like develop in the ways that they wanted to develop, and so my hair overall can be pretty uneven, and I do have some chunkier locks, some thinner locks, and I feel like overall that kind of makes it hard for me sometimes to style. Also, when I don't brush my locks, I feel like they kind of just end up all over the place. So that's mainly why I brush my locks. I do like to believe that it does benefit their growth in some type of way, but I don't really know if there's any way to confirm that. All in all, I think if something works for you and your locks, continue to do it unless you find a reason not to, or there's some type of sign that what you're doing negatively impacts them. So I've been brushing my locks. I want to say out of the 3 years that I've had my locks, I've been brushing them for the past 1.5 years or so. I'm just gonna add a little more moisture back because my hair dries really fast. So typically this is the point in the process when I apply oil to my scalp. I mainly apply oil after showering or in place of a gel, which is why I usually do it when I do retwist my hair, but I actually just recently found something at the store. It's the spray conditioner by Uncle Harry's. This is not sponsored. They don't know who I am. I've been using it in the shower and I actually really like it. The ingredients are really simplistic. It's literally just purified water, 100% cold pressed essential oils of orange, lemon, and cold pressed organic hemp oil. So This is actually what I'm going to use today, and this is going to be the first time that I use it to retwist any part of my hair. So I'm pretty excited to see how the hold is and how my hair feels a couple days after. And on the back, it does say it's more of a leave-in conditioner and detangler. When I have been using it in the shower, I haven't been rinsing it out. It's kind of just like the last step that I do before getting out of the shower and drying my hair off. And so it works great, it smells really good, and I like it because it's not super oily. I feel like it's definitely more of like a dry oil, which I really appreciate, just because I feel like that leads to less buildup and dirt just getting caught in my locks. And I like to apply it directly to my scalp. As you can see, I kind of like lift my locks up and really just feel that oil to skin contact. It wasn't too expensive either. I think it was only like $9, like $8.99, so decent price. And considering that I only really use it a couple times a week, I feel like it will take me pretty far. So now that that's applied, I'm just gonna basically massage it into my scalp. I will say it is super light, so I'm a little curious to see how this works for a mini retwist. But honestly, since not really even committing to having like a retwist schedule, I feel like me retwisting my locks isn't even really like a long-term thing to me anymore. So I really just do this like a couple days before I have an event or I'm going somewhere where I feel like I want my hair to be neater. So when it comes to the actual retwist, the only part of my scalp that I'm concerned about is really just like this front headband section, I guess you can say. And the logic behind that is I don't really care what the back of my head looks like. And for the most part, I typically wear my hair in updos, and so all you really see is those first 1 or 2 rows, and so that's really all I'm interested in retwisting. I'll just follow these rows down to my ear essentially and separate that from the back of my head. And obviously the point of this is for it to just be quick and easy. So if you're doing this and you feel like you're not getting the effects that you want to see by the first 2 rows, you could always add more or add specific locks if you feel like that would make it blend from the front of your head to the back of your head more. So basically all you're going to do at this point is take your hair and flip it over to the other side. I like to work from the bottom up, so that's why I'm doing this, and I just take the lowest lock and I twist it like normal. Last year I got my hair retwisted by a professional, and they actually changed the direction that I twist my locks on one side of my head, and I've just kind of like stuck to that. I guess they were telling me that technically each side of your head has a way that it should be twisted to go naturally with your curl pattern, and so for this side of my head, I twist backwards, and for the other side of my head, I twist forward. So this is what it looks like so far. If you're someone that doesn't feel comfortable retwisting their own hair, totally fine. I feel like that's up to the person, but I would recommend trying it out, at least for a little bit. I feel like being able to retwist my own hair and take care of it in that way has definitely made this journey a lot more special to me. So I pretty much have this lower part done. What I like to do, the ponytail in the back, I will just take it out and I will add the new retwisted locks into that ponytail. Really simple. I know for sure it takes me less than 10 minutes, maybe like 5 to 7 minutes to really finish this entire process. For me, I'm not too concerned about the parting. Like, I will separate hair where I feel like it needs to be separated, but I'm not even looking in the mirror right now, honestly. I have like the little screen on my camera going on, but I can't even see my parts. So overall, it's just like a super chill process for me. Quick, easy, gets the point across, and it looks good. Here is the top of my head. I honestly didn't twist them that tight. I don't really see a point, especially because I'm not even using an oil that would really hold that retwist in. But surprisingly, I actually really do like using this oil. It kind of just feels like a step above using water to retwist my hair. It also just like smells amazing, so that's a plus. Here's a little closer of a shot. So I was twisting back for the other side and I do forward for this side. I just like to pinch relatively close to the scalp and then I palm roll it into a twist. I feel like more recently I've been seeing a lot of people taking down their locks and posting videos taking down their locks, and it's kind of interesting. I feel like the same way locks became super popular and suddenly everyone was putting locks in their hair, I feel like I saw one person take down their locks, and it's just been like a gradual trend within the lock influencers that I follow to also take down and remove their locks. And I will say, I feel like each person's reason has been pretty authentic to who they are, and it doesn't feel like they're taking them down as a part of a trend. But I think it's kind of interesting how I feel like there is this weird kind of like lock timeline that's going on, and on average a lot of them had their locks in for about 5 years, which is kind of funny because I feel like 5 years was also my benchmark for having my locks. Not that I'm planning a time to take them down or like I have a goal for how long I want to keep them, but I feel like 5 years in my head was always just like a really good time frame for having these locks and kind of just like being on this journey. I forgot to put my hair back, so they're kind of all falling all over the place, but y'all, we're pretty much done. I always put a little more product on these two in the front just because I feel like they receive the most wear and tear as far as my styling goes. When I first locked my hair, I feel like every other picture of me had these two down in the front. I don't know, I thought it was like super cute, and I guess it is, but I haven't done that in a minute, and low-key when I do it now, I'm like, that shit's ugly, but at the time it was working for me. So that is pretty much it. I have one more in the center. This lock in the middle of my head is not by accident technically. When I was finishing up, because I started from the bottom and I worked my way up for parting, when I was finishing up I didn't like how big my parts were, and so I kind of just like started parting them all kind of which way, and for some reason I felt like if I put this lock in the center of my head, it would make my hair look fuller. Like I didn't want there to be like a middle part going down. Like for some reason I was like, that would look really bad if like I had like this line going to the back of my scalp with my locks, just because I wanted them to look a little more disheveled, you know. I wanted them to feel a little more natural in the parting versus having like these bone straight parts. And yeah, I don't know, I low-key hate it now, I'm not gonna lie. For the most part, I don't really care. It doesn't really do anything to me, but sometimes I see styles or people styling their locks and I'm like, damn, I wish I didn't have a lock in the middle of my head, but we live with it. Also, I forgot which way it twists, so I twist it forward, I guess. Technically it's kind of hard to tell because it's in the middle of my head, but I kind of just twist it whichever way and then I lay it this way, so who knows. But yeah, that is literally the routine. And then after this, if I have the time, I'll like put my hair in a scarf and I'll let it sit and dry so it lays flat and everything. I actually have somewhere to be right now, so that's not gonna happen today, but that's literally it. That's it. This is my lazy girl lock routine. So I'm gonna put my hair in a ponytail just to kind of like show y'all. Basically, this is what it looks like in a ponytail or an updo. Obviously, if you have a trained eye, you will see where I stopped retwisting and it just kind of turns into the locks themselves. But for the most part, I feel like it does exactly what I want it to do, which is just kind of like give the appearance that my locks are retwisted and put together. And yeah, it's just like a quarter of the work, which I love. So yes, that's literally all I have to show y'all today. Super easy. I already have a playlist dedicated to all of my lock care videos, so definitely check that out as well. That is literally it. All right, thanks for watching, y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.